Hello, hello, my beautiful people, and welcome back. This is Sheila Truelove, and today's topic is going to be about desperate women. I mean, you know it's getting bad when even men are starting to say and make videos that women this day and age are so desperate. I mean, you have women who have men who are cheating on them, men who don't work, men who is laying around the house playing video games, watching television. They're sitting around driving your car, eating your food. You're paying the rent. You're doing the financial heavy lifting. He has no respect for you, and not that you can blame him, because I mean, come on already. You don't have any respect for yourself. Anyway, why is it that women have become so desperate? I can't give you a guaranteed answer. I can only give you my speculation or the way I see it. I think you see a lot of women. We know well I say we, even though I would never ever wrong girl put up with a man who don't work, a man who cheats. That's a huge deal breaker. There are some things that you just can't come back from, and when it comes to cheating, you can't come back from that. Now, if my man lost his job and he's fallen on hard times, of course you're going to have his back. You're going to hold him down because you see that he's out there looking and he's really trying, and he's not just sitting at home looking at videos, lounging around the place or whatever. And of course, when you get home from work, you don't want to hassle him because I'm sure he feels bad enough if he's a man and not just a male. I'm sure he feels bad enough being out of work. And we are to be his helper, and we got to have each other's back because you may fall on hard time and lose your job. It happens. However, you have these women out here when they meet the man, he has no job, or you have some men who they start off with the job, they get the woman, and then they quit the job. And you have women who are putting up with this. Women who will take food from their kids' mouths just to feed some male, I call them parasites if you want my view, bottom of the barrel parasites and maggots. Because what real man can feel comfortable leeching and living off of a woman or sitting there having a woman do the heavy lifting in a relationship when it is a clear fact that a man is supposed to be the provider? That goes without saying. And whoever does not agree with that, you know what? Your problem and your fight is not with me. You need to take that up to your Heavenly Father, the one who designed you, the one who designed me. Because he gave each of us our role to play and what we are responsible to do. Okay? Now, if you have a man who decides to stay at home and watch the children, I get it, because babysitters these days, it's expensive. And if you, as the woman, have the ability to make more money than him, then of course it makes sense. Let's be common sense here. He could stay at home and watch the children until they are of school age, and then once they're in school, he gets out there and get a job. You know, you're sitting around here. A lot of these men, they're with these women, and they know how to spot a desperate woman. A woman who has, forget low self esteem, she has no self esteem. Anyway, they know how to spot a woman who they can get free rent, free food, free housing. You know what I mean? Free car to drive. What kind of person, what kind of, yeah, I can't even come up with words for that. That's just sick. And as much as I can get angry with the maggots and the parasites who do things like that and still want respect as a man, I can still get angry with the women as well. Because, these bottom feeders, they're not going to do no more than what you allow them to do. And women have got to start developing a backbone. They have to stand up for themselves. They have to speak up for themselves. And if you want To find yourself a real man has no problem with a woman expressing herself and standing up for herself. In fact, if he's a king, if he's king material, he wants that. He wants a queen. He wants a strong woman. If you find a man who does not want a good woman, it's because he's not a good man. If he doesn't want a decent woman, he's not a decent man. Okay? But a man who is king material, he wants a strong woman. Because if the king is sick and a little down and out, he's going to need that queen to be strong and able to stand up in his absence. You see? Now, in terms of desperate women, I mean, they put these males before their own children. They'll sit there and lose out on their friends or kick their friends to the curb because he doesn't like her. I got to get rid of her because my man don't like her. You've been friends for 15, 20 years. And all of a sudden, this character comes along. He doesn't like your friend. And you're ready to kick them to the curb. Not acceptable. Just not acceptable. That's craziness. When a man is mistreating you or disrespecting you, you need to kick him to the curb. He's got to go. Because I always keep this in mind. It's better to handle a breakup than to stay in a crummy and an abusive marriage, a crummy and an abusive relationship. You have no peace. You have no happiness. There's only two places where you're going to have peace. And that's in your grave and in your home. And if you can't have peace in your home, then something is really, really wrong. So, in closing, my beautiful ladies who, you got to toughen up and develop some self esteem. How do you build your self esteem? You set goals and you achieve them. And each time you achieve a goal, your self esteem is going to grow higher and higher and higher and higher. And you can do this. I know you can. Anyway, that's all for now. This is Sheila True Love saying, I love you. Get it together.